Hi everybody, my name is Chris Etter and I'm with Mindful Yoga Therapy. And today I'm going to lead you through about a 60-minute full body supported asana practice that's going to bring breath and life back into your life. So if you're ready and it feels good, go ahead and find a nice comfortable sitting position on your mat. And eventually we're going to make our ways all the way to our backs into constructive rest. Feet are going to be about hips width apart, knees high. And if it feels good to have your knees touch each other, go ahead and do that too. And once you're there, begin to notice your breath. And there's no judgment, there's no right or wrong here. Just notice the breath that you arrived with today. Sometimes your breath may feel thin and rapid, and sometimes it's deep and thorough. And usually the minute someone asks you to identify your breath or to notice your breath, you're going to change your breath. And that's okay too. As you inhale, know that you're breathing in, and as you exhale, know that you're breathing out. There's a sense of coolness as you inhale, as the breath kind of swirls along inside your nasal passageway, down your throat. Your lungs begin to expand on the inhale, and there's a small condense on the exhale. See if you can notice where your breath is going inside your body. As you inhale, the lungs begin to fill. And possibly you can notice that breath going to the other extremities, all the way down to the cellular level. Good. If it feels good, or maybe it's part of your practice to close your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes. And if it doesn't, maybe you can just turn your gaze down, lower your eyelids a little bit. Good. From here, begin to notice the parts of your body making contact with the mat, and in essence, with the earth. Your feet, your buttocks, lower back, upper back, your shoulders, arms and hands. Know that these different points of contact with the mat and with the earth are providing you support. You are, in fact, yielding into the earth, and the earth is yielding back. There's this rebound effect coming back into you. Take another moment to recognize and notice the breath again. Has it changed just in the few moments that we've been practicing? If it hasn't, that's okay too. There's no judgment. Just notice the quality of your breath right now. Good. From here, begin to scan your body, starting from the crown of your head, working all the way down to your toes. Just looking for parts of your body today that you want to honor. In other words, parts of your body that no matter where I guide you today, you're wise enough to know that this just might not be for you today. And perhaps you'll need to explore some of our modifications. Or parts of your body that you want to explore, and give yourself permission to do just that. From here, bring the palms of your hand right above your heart. Perhaps it helps you arrive to a place that just might feel like gratitude. And once there, think of something that you're grateful for today. And see if you can't keep that now in the forefront of your mind throughout the rest of today's practice. Good. From here, we're going to draw both of our knees into our chest. So slowly draw your knees in. Use your hands. Perhaps you can reach around to grasp opposite wrists. Maybe you're a little bit too tight and you just want to keep your hands on top of your knees. And as you draw your knees in, once again, there's a slight condense happening against your organs. Massaging our digestive organs, and with our inhales and exhales, we begin to let some of the waste that our body no longer needs do what it's supposed to do, leave. Good. We can stay here, or perhaps it's part of your practice, or maybe it just feels good for you to kind of roll left to right along your side of your tailbone, on the tops of your buttocks. There's no need to make ginormous movement here. Any movement is going to feel fantastic. Good. We'll come back to center. Let your feet come back down to the earth. Nice. Palms down to the side of your body. And take a moment once again to check in with your breath. Has it changed any since the beginning of the practice? Once again, there's no judgment, there's no right or wrong. Good. From here, we're going to move up to all fours. So when you're ready, and there's no rush, you can slowly roll over to your right side. Coming up. Good. Nice. And once we're here, we're going to work on a couple different supports that we really like to use in our mindful yoga therapy classes. The first one is this sense of grounding into the earth. So what I'm going to ask you to do is come back off your hands, lean back into your heels real quick, and we're going to place our hands again, but this time when you arrive to the mat, really notice the sensation of your hands yielding into the earth. Your hands are going to be slightly forward of your elbows and shoulders. Knees can be hips width apart if that feels good. Sometimes we have options. Some people might feel better with lower back issues to have their knees a little bit wider or a little bit more narrow. So if you want to try that, go ahead. From here, we're going to scoop our belly in. Imagine there's a hand on your belly. Someone giving you like a, hey, good game on your belly. Thanks, that's Mike. I like doing that too. I'm a tactile person, I like the touch. And so when we do that, when we activate our navel support, what we're doing is we're supporting the full body and the spine, which will provide us a lot of protection and support during this exercise. Good. Our back will be in a natural curve. We have a tendency sometimes to kind of arch our back or maybe droop our back. So see if you can come into a nice, comfortable, natural back. Great. From here, we're going to eventually lift our right hand and our left leg back. But before we do that, what I want you to do is to really root down with your left hand. Activate your core using your navel support. And if it's part of your practice, you can go ahead and lift the right arm and the left leg. If it's not, perhaps you want to do one at a time. So maybe your left leg goes back first. You find that support. And then the right hand comes out. We're reaching full body here, all the way out, head to tail, tip to toe. Good. Where's your breath? We're going to introduce the victorious breath as we exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale, find the length. The victorious breath is the breath that we use on the inside. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, find the length. If you're not aware of the victorious breath, we are also going to record a video for that. You can find the links in this broadcast. Good. One more time. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, find the length. Great. Coming back to all fours. Nice. Find the support again. Navel support, full body, spines in line, natural curve of the back. All right, let's try the other side. Once again, if it's part of your practice, maybe your right leg and left arm automatically can come off the earth. If not, maybe try the right leg first, then the left arm comes out. Good. Navel support, victorious breath. Exhale, draw it in. Nice. Inhale, find the length. Full body, coming all the way out. Beautiful. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, find the length. Let's do it one more time. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, find the length. Good. We'll come back to all fours. Nice. From here, we're going to press back into wisdom pose. Some people know that as child's pose. We're going to call it wisdom pose. I prefer taking a wide knee. If you have a lower back issue or some hamstring issues, sometimes the wide knee seems a little bit better as you press yourself back, coming down into the earth. Once again, notice the supports we have here. Although we're flipped, no longer on our backs, we have the same supports here. So notice the parts of your body, once again, finding contact with the mat. Good. Where's your victorious breath? What about your navel support? See if there's a difference between activating the navel support and not activating the navel support. And then come back to that navel support. As you inhale, know that you're breathing in, and as you exhale, know that you're breathing out. So when you're ready, there's going to be movement. We're going to be transitioning from wisdom pose to cobra and back and forth. So on your next inhalation, we're going to draw our bodies forward. Our legs stay low, our feet stay on the ground. I'm going to use our hands to press up into a cobra. Beautiful. So on your inhale, we'll slide forward. Legs low, feet on the ground. Good. Use your hands to press into the earth. Coming up into a low cobra, a little bit lower, Alex. There you go. Good. On your next exhale, we're going to press right back into wisdom pose. Nice. Let's do a few of these. So when you're ready, inhale, we're going to slide forward. Elbows are tight and in. Good. Exhale, press back into wisdom pose. Nice. Let's do one more. Inhale, slowly slide forward. Good. I'm going to press up. Nice. And then one more press back into downward facing dog. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a big, deep knee in this downward facing dog. There's a good chance that if you're watching this video or if you're in this class today, you have really tight hamstrings. On your next inhale, as we inhale, we're coming forward into upward or cobra pose. Good. Slight lift as we press into the earth. Exhale, pressing back once again into wisdom pose. Nice. On the next inhale, we'll come to a neutral position, all fours, toes go under, lift the hips up, pressing back into downward facing dog. Good. Take a deep knee as an option here. Most of you watching this most likely have really tight hamstrings. You can include me on that list. It just feels kind of good here. As you inhale, know that you're breathing in. And as you exhale, know that you're breathing out. Notice your supports in this position. We have 2 hands, 2 feet on the earth. There's a yielding happening. Activate your navel support. Notice how that supports your full spine and body. Good. Where's your victorious breath? Nice. From here, we're going to slowly walk our feet up to our hands, coming to the top of the mat, arriving together in forward fold. Our knees are going to be bent. If you have really tight hamstrings, bend them deeper. Yes, Mike. Even deeper. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to lift up high. Arms come above our head. And exhale, we're going to come down into mountain pose. Good. How are we feeling? Nice. Mountain pose gives us a great opportunity to really, once again, focus on our supports. Right now, our support are our feet. So look down at those beautiful feet. There they are. Notice how you're standing. Some of us might be standing a little bit deeper into our heels. Some of us may be standing up into our toes. See if you can get the entirety of your feet to kind of like hug your mat. Good. Activate your navel support. Feel tall and long. I always like to joke, even though I'm 6'2", but I imagine myself being short like Stephanie. And I'm trying to get on a roller coaster ride, and I'm just about a ½ inch too short. This is the pose I practice. So stand tall, Stephanie. There it is. Good. Notice the parts of your feet now making contact with your mat. This is your support. Feel free to smile. It makes the class much easier. Nice. On the next inhale, we're going to lift our arms all the way high. On the exhale, hinging at the hips, slight bend in the knee, forward fold. Great. Inhale, we're going to come halfway up. Use your shins if you'd like. We're going to have that neutral spine again, reaching from tailbone to head. Great. On the exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we're sweeping our arms all the way high again, reaching all the way up. There it is. Exhale, hands to side, mountain pose. Navel support, victorious breath. Next inhale, sweeping our arms high. Those arms are up, they're active, they're glad to be here. Exhale, hinging at the hip, slight bend in the knee if you like, coming all the way down. Inhale, coming halfway up, half fold. We have that neutral spine here. Great. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we're coming all the way up again. Find that length, full body posture here. Exhale, hinge at the hip, forward fold. Inhale, we're coming halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, coming all the way up. We're reaching high. Exhale, hinge at the hip, forward fold. Next inhale brings us to that half back. Exhale brings us all the way down. If you don't have a deep bend in the knee here, go ahead and try it now. Just see if you like it. I kind of like that big deep bend because then my belly and my thighs come in contact. And as I breathe, I'm beginning to massage those digestive organs one more time. Next inhale brings us all the way high. And then exhale brings us back to mountain pose. Good. Let's check in with our supports once again. Feet to the earth, breath, navel support. As we check in one more time in our supports, where are our feet? Are they hugging the earth? Our navel support, our breath, Mike smile. These are all things. Good. On the next inhale, we'll sweep our arms high. On the exhale, let's bring our hands to our hips. Power pose. Nice. And let's step our feet a little bit wider than our shoulders. And if it's part of your practice to go wider here, go ahead. Nice. We're going to rotate our right foot forward towards either the backs of your mat or the front of your mats. So rotate your right foot forward. Good. Looks fantastic. Let's put a slight bend to our right knee here. Nice. Moving into Warrior Two. This is a very powerful pose. Our right foot's pressing down on the earth, pressing back. Our back foot is powerful too, providing in. And eventually, we're going to bring our arms out wide. Good. We're rooting down. And at the same time, as we activate our navel support, the spine is supported and we're lifting up through our shoulders and the crown of our heads. Nice. If it feels good to go a little bit of a bigger bend in your right knee, go ahead. Making sure, though, that your right knee stays behind your ankle at all times. Great. A few more breaths here. We're going to be looking right over the tops of our middle finger, so where our gaze goes. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to straighten that right leg. Hands will come back to our hips. We'll rotate our right foot back towards the edge. Now let's rotate our left foot towards the other direction. Move to Warrior Two the other way. Same thing here. Where are the supports? As we inhale, we're reaching our arms out. As we exhale, we're going to slowly begin to put that bend in our left knee. Nice. Left foot pressing down into the earth. Right foot pressing down into the earth. The rebound as we activate our navel support all the way up to the crown of our head. Full body supportive pose. Nice. Smiles anytime. Makes me feel wanted. Good. 2 more breaths. I'm trying to hear your breath. I want to hear that victorious breath. Nice. When we're ready, we'll straighten that front leg. Hands come back to our hips. Rotate your left foot again. Nice. Let's rotate the right foot again. Back the other way. As we inhale, arms come out. We're nice and long. Great. As we exhale, we're going to slowly lean in forward to our right arm. We're going to move into triangle pose. So as you exhale, we're going to slowly rotate that right hand down. It may find your shin. You may want one of the blocks for support as an option. I prefer to use my block because with my block, I can use an extra support, rebounding back up all the way to your top hand. Your left thumb, as you look up, should be kind of right over your mouth. Not on your mouth, but over your mouth. If this doesn't feel good, another option is you can take your left hand and place it on your lower back. Your gaze can be up, or if you don't feel supported, your gaze can be down. Continuing to find that breath, using your supports to feel fully supported in this pose. Good. We're going to slowly put a bend back into our right knee as we inhale, lifting our body back up into that Warrior Two pose. Nice. Hands come to our hips. We're going to rotate our heels out again. And let's try that on the other side. Let's rotate our left foot now. As we inhale, arms find the length. We're supported from the ground up. Navel support. we're going to lean in to the left side and slowly rotate over into triangle pose. Same thing here. You may find that you didn't use your block as an option on the other side, but on this side you kind of like it. So we have the same options here. We can use the block, we can come all the way down. Our gaze can be up at our thumb, our gaze can be down, and our right hand can either be in the sky or it can be resting on your lower back. There's opening happening now in our side body. Good, nice options. On the next inhale, we're gonna put a bend again to our left knee. We're gonna come up into the warrior two pose. Nice, next exhale, hands come to our hips, and we're gonna rotate. Back facing the other way. Good. We're gonna go into side angle. Modified side angle. So inhale, arms come out. Right foot's going to rotate towards the front of the mat or the back of the mat, depending on the side you're on. Next exhale, we're going to find that bend into our right knee. Your right elbow is going to find your thigh somewhere. We want to stay in that natural curve of the spine again. So sometimes we have the tendency to kind of lean in and dip into our shoulders. So we want to press away from our thigh and our shoulders. You can kind of see the difference of me leaning in and me lifting out. Dipping in, leaning out. Good. Once again, with your top hand, it can be in a multiple different locations. It can press all the way over as you extend from your tippy toe all the way down to your left foot. Your left foot, very important here. It is providing you strength and support, along with your breath and your navel support. That left arm also can once again just kind of hang out your lower back. It's good for you. Right. Good. From here, there's a couple options we have. I like to take my right hand to my thigh and press myself back up as I come into this wide stance again. Good. Let's rotate both feet forward. Good. We're going to do a straddle fold here. So on the next inhale, let's sweep our arms high. On the exhale, slight bend in your knees as you hinge forward into a forward fold. This is a wide leg forward fold. Our hands can be in a couple different places. If they don't naturally touch the ground, you can reach for your block as an option. We're going to keep our elbows and shoulders in line. Tight hamstrings, bend those knees as an option. I really enjoy the bent knee option. Check in with your breath again. I know I can hear you. Good. We're going to come back up to standing. A couple different options here. If it's part of your practice to come all the way up, go ahead. If not, perhaps you'd like to put your hands on your thighs, then use your hands to press on your thighs as you come all the way back up. And then our hands come to our hips. Good. Let's rotate our left foot now, either to the front of the mat or the side of the mat. As we inhale, arms will lengthen wide, bend in the left knee. We'll go to modified side angle on this side. So we're going to bend our left elbow. As we exhale, left elbow will find your thigh. Natural curves here, don't dip in or relax. Lengthen your right arm now, opening your right side of your body. It's a whole bunch of little muscles in between your rib cage called intercostal muscles. As you inhale, maybe you can feel them expand. And as you exhale, maybe a slight condense. Good. A couple options with that right hand. It can be straight up, it can be straight over, or if you have any lower back issues, maybe your right hand just kind of finds that small of your back. If you don't feel supported with your gaze up, turn your gaze down. And if your gaze is up, go ahead and check it out. Turn your gaze down. You may find you prefer it that way. Nice. Good. From here, we're going to come back up to straddle fold. So perhaps as an option, take your left hand to your thigh to press up. We'll straighten our feet parallel to the long sides of the mat or short sides of the mat. Good. Hands come to our hips. Slight bend in our waist or in our knees. Good. Now on the exhale, we're going to slowly forward fold into our straddle fold. Once again, if your hands come naturally to the mat, that's fantastic. Elbows in line with your shoulders. If not, find that block as an option. The block coincidentally has 3 different levels. Small, medium, and my hamstrings are tight. Tall. Good. Nice breaths here. Check in with your breath again. Has it changed since the beginning of the class? Good. From here, we're going to come back up to mountain pose. Options, if it's part of your practice, hands to the hip. We can come up, or hands to your thighs. Press as we come up. Good. Then hands to your hips. And we're going to come to mountain. There's a couple ways you can do that. You can just kind of step together, or if you're like me, I kind of like to heel toe in. We're there. And let's come back to the tops of our mats. Fantastic. All right, from here we're going to go into a balancing pose called tree. Many people will ask me when we come into doing balancing poses, I want to do a balancing pose or I want to do a handstand. And I ask them, well, why do you want to do that? And they say, because it's cool. And they're right, it is kind of cool. But for me, balancing poses are more about finding a moment. One small moment of clarity where we can slow everything down and great things can happen. The possibilities begin to unfold for us. So let's try it. Let's come back to the mountain pose. Find that nice, comfortable position. Take a moment to use your supports once again. Your feet are yielding into the earth, and then there's that rebound sensation coming all the way up as we activate our navel support, full spine support, natural curves in our lower back. I'm slowly begin to put my weight into my right foot. As I rotate on top of my left toes, my left heel comes to my right ankle. This is an option. I call this kickstand. We can stay there, or maybe it's part of your practice, or maybe it feels good today for your foot to find your calf. Or the foot can come all the way up. Once you find the place you're happy with, inhale, arms reach high. Good. We can stay here. Nice. Continue to breathe. No need to hold your breath now. And on the exhale, we'll slowly come all the way down. Great. We're going to try the other side now. And you may notice you were rock solid on one side and not so much on the other side. That's okay. We can work on that. No right or wrong. So let's go ahead once again. Ground our feet. As we yield down, we root tall. Activating the navel support, full body. We're now going to lean into our left foot as we rotate our right ankle, or heel, to our left ankle. Into tree, kickstand tree. You may stay here, or if it's part of your practice, maybe you'll go up to your calf, or maybe you go all the way up to your inner thigh. We'll stay down at kickstand today. Good. When you feel supported, inhale, arms lift high. Nice. We continue to breathe. We're reaching up, we're rooting down, we're finding that moment of clarity. And on the exhale, we'll slowly come all the way down. Fantastic. Balancing pose. Good. From here, we're going to go back to the tops of our mat. We're going to eventually come back to the bottom into a plank pose. Okay? So inhale, arms lift high. Exhale into a fold. Inhale, we're going to come halfway up, soft knees, natural spine. We're lengthening through our head to our tailbone. Hands are going to come to the mat here. So if you can't reach the mat, bend your knees even deeper. And then we're going to step back into a downward facing dog. Let's start this downward facing dog with our knees bent. Good. Fingers are spread wide. Know that you have 4 points of contact. See if you can lift up through your tailbone, extending all the way from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Navel support protects the spine, then back down into your feet. Good. On your next inhale, we're going to come into a high plank. So on the inhale, we're going to slowly press forward, high plank. Make sure that your back is higher than your butt, so you're not down something like such. Now we're going to slowly lower down into a low plank. You may want to opt here to lower your knees down first and come down. Beautiful. It's important to note that this pose, and just find rest on the ground real quick, it's important to note that this is a lot different than a push-up that we do in the military. The push-up we do in the military, elbows are wide. When we do our low plank, elbows are narrow, and they come all the way in. Good. So from here, we're going to press up into an upward facing dog. Shoulders roll back. Good. On the exhale, we're going to come all the way down. We're going to prepare for locust. So in locust, we're going to bring our arms to the side of our body, palms down. We're going to extend from our head back to our toes. It's kind of with this lengthening slinky coming out, right? So as we inhale, we're going to lift our shoulders and our feet off the ground. So on the inhale, lift. We want to find that length from the head to the toes. Very nice. Exhale down. Hands stay on the ground. Good. Let's turn to the left with your face. Beautiful. We haven't been in this position before, so let's see if we can notice the support we even have in this position. Where's your breath? Are you thinking about how much longer is the class going to take? Are you just waiting for final rest? Good. Let's bring our head back to neutral. And once again, hands stay on the ground. And on the next inhalation, we're going to lift our shoulders and our feet back. Head comes up. Activating our navel support, hands stay down. Stephanie, down, there it is, beautiful. Nice. And then when you're ready, we'll lower all the way down. And we'll turn your heads the opposite way than they were last time. Good. We'll do about 25 more, or maybe just one. Oh, we'll do 2. Let's come back to our neutral head. Activate our navel support. Where's your breath? On the next inhale, we're going to find that length from head to toe as we lift. Hands stay on the earth. Beautiful. Smiles don't make the pose easier, just makes the time more enjoyable. Exhale, we'll slowly lower all the way down. Face turns the opposite way. One more time. We'll come back to neutral face. On your inhale, we're going to lift, arms stay down, very nice. Activate the navel support, full body, spinal support, and on the exhale, we'll come all the way down. Good. We can stay here for a moment, or perhaps it may feel better for you to press back into a wide-legged wisdom pose. I see most of us are opting for the wisdom pose. Smart move. For those of you watching the video, the wisdom pose is yours every moment throughout this practice. If you ever feel you need to take a time just for you to relax, this is the pose for you. If I had my choice, I'd stay in this pose the entire class. It's kind of hard. Beautiful. From here, we're going to find ourselves into a sitting position. So make your way to whatever feels comfortable to come to a sitting position. We're going to move into boat pose. There's several different ways that we can drive this boat, several different options we can use. We're all going to start the same, then eventually we're going to take our boats and cruise down the water, right? So let's first start by taking our hands underneath each of our knees. Reach in. I like to activate my navel support. I'm going to widen my collarbones. I think for most men, this is fantastic because we tend to roll forward here. So this gives us the opportunity to make those collarbones nice and wide. I'm going to lean back a little bit, and maybe your left foot comes up to test the water. We may stay here. Some of us might just like, this is it, this is my jam. Some of us may be able to take both legs up. We can stay here. Once again, the breath is still active. Shoulder blades are pulled back. Maybe our hands come off. Maybe your hands stay on, but you straighten the legs. Maybe the legs straighten and the arms come out as well. There's several different places we can stay. I prefer this option right here. Once again, we're activating our navel support to protect the spine, and we're lengthening through the crown of our head. Natural spine, not a curved spine. Good. And then we'll slowly let our legs come down. Beautiful. We're getting there. Let's go ahead and break both of our legs straight from here. You may want, if you have tight hamstrings, to opt for that thing, a belt, a strap. We're going to bend our right leg. Our right foot's going to come into this beautiful spot along the side of our thigh. I'm going to do one-legged seated forward fold. I'm going to scoop my belly in, activate my navel support, and as I exhale, I'm going to reach forward, lengthening forward. Some of us may find that this is where we land, right here. And that feels really good. Some of us may be able to land somewhere around on our ankle. Some of us may be able to land a little bit lower. So find where you land today. We're still using all of our supports. The breath supports us. The yielding supports us. The supported spine supports us. The support precedes our action. Good. If you do have tight hamstrings, this left leg can pop up a little bit and see if that provides you a little bit more space to land somewhere a little bit differently than before. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to slowly come up. Bring both legs out. Then we're going to draw the left leg in. We do the same thing. You also may notice that one leg might be a little bit different than the other leg, right? Our right leg lays down, my left leg slightly wonky. It's okay. So we're going to inhale, scoop our belly, long spine, and as we exhale, we're beginning to reach out forward. Some of us may land around here. Some of us may land at our ankle. You may opt to use the strap. Wherever you decide to land. Some of you may like to bring your head to your knee, which is fantastic. Unless you're sweaty, it's less fantastic. Good. And we'll slowly come back up. All right, so from here, we're going to go ahead and transition to the wall for legs up wall. So let's go ahead and find our way to the wall. Your left hip to the wall. I kind of like to have my right hand out for support. Left hand kind of goes behind me a little bit. Looks like one of these things. And we're going to slowly roll ourselves onto our backs. Legs come up. The closer we can keep our bottoms to the wall, the better. This is legs up wall. It's a fantastic restorative pose if you're having issues with sleep at night. This is a great place to go. It's changing the blood flow from our feet down and allowing our hip sockets to kind of get back in alignment. There's a sense of relaxation, perhaps a sense of accomplishment. Good. As an option, sometimes your hamstrings or your quads might get a little tight. So perhaps you just press your feet against the wall with a slight bend in your knee as an option. Good. Once again, noticing the points of contact providing support. Notice your breath. Activate your navel support. Good. And from here, we're going to slowly lower ourselves back down the same way we came back up. Everyone's going to the right. The other right. There it is. Good. And from here, we're going to come back to our mats, preparing for rest. Rest, our head will be in the middle of the room. You may want to opt to use the bolster underneath your knees, underneath your buttocks, underneath your head, whatever feels good to you. And slowly allow yourself to come down. I like to turn my shoulder blades under. Good. We're in rest. As you inhale, know that you're breathing in. And as you exhale, know that you're breathing out. Take a moment to notice the supports in this position. Give yourself permission to yield back into the earth. If you're watching this video at home, feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Perhaps you can set a timer on your phone or whatever. But for the rest of us, once again, think of something that you're grateful for. Perhaps it's the same thing that you were grateful for in the beginning of the class. Maybe it's something new. Maybe it's two things. Put a smile on your face and notice how that changes your disposition. And when you're ready, we'll slowly bring ourselves back to the right side, making some small movements with your feet, your fingers, coming back into the room. And when you're ready and there's no rush, we'll come back up to a sitting position. Good. Once we arrive, as we inhale, let's bring a nice big arm reach high. I want to give everybody a hug, so give yourself a hug. Maybe a small bow that feels good. If it doesn't, no big deal. On your next inhale, sweep your arms all the way high again. This time our hands will come to union. And as you exhale, use your gaze to watch your thumbs as they lower all the way down back to heart center. If it feels good to close your eyes and take a bow, that's fantastic. If not, maybe just lower your gaze. And finally, I just want to offer something from me to you. I ask that you allow yourself to be good to you, to be good to earth, and to be good to others. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it. And thank you for checking out our Mindful Yoga Therapy videos. We're gonna have several different videos loaded up, so feel free to check out our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel, and our Instagram channel, and get all of this content right to you whenever and wherever you want it. Thanks.